As a freshman, every game is very emotional, something new, something we haven't experienced before. So sometimes it's a little difficult to separate yourself, take a step back, and really understand your performance game to game. So film is definitely an invaluable learning experience to step back and just say, oh, this is what I did in this situation, this is what I should have done.
You have to make sure that you guys are keeping your shape and we're not getting all drawn to the ball side and too high, okay?
I think we're definitely looking for themes. Certainly we'll show them goals we've scored, goals we gave up, how we did in transition, and then good things that we did and things we need to improve upon.
All right? All right, let's have a good one.
So Thursday is always interesting because a lot of times it's more tactical. She's not trying to tire us out, but she wants to make sure that we're still using that time to be productive and prepare for Saturday. So Thursdays are always a toss-up depending on what Shaq is thinking for that game. And sometimes the tactics that she comes up with are just completely out of the blue. We don't ever see it coming, so it's always a surprise to show up Thursday.
Ronnie is definitely he doesn't say much all the time, and he's a goalkeeper coach, so we don't get to see him, constantly. But he's definitely a presence as someone who kind of keeps the calm and keeps the balance. And Mike is a little bit of everything. I'd say Mike and Shaq are similar in a lot of ways. They all have extremely high standards of us. I think Mike has a really good job of telling us, not necessarily when we're underperforming, but when he expects a little more out of us, and that's always important for us to hear.
As soon as the ball goes out of bounds or a goal is scored, Mike will play the next one in. Okay? Any questions? All right, let's have Gabby, Dusty, Alicia, Nat, and let's have Darcy and Hannah down there.
2 10-minute halves. I want the ball zinging, speed of play. All right?
On any normal practice day, we will spend a good 20 minutes on technique, whether it's passing, receiving, a little bit of dribbling, just to keep players sharp.
When you see that ball going to Leanna, you need to come so she can flick it off. Hard on 3! 1, 2, 3, hard!
It's cool to see it actually come to fruition when we talk about this soccer family and the alums and how supportive everybody is. And I know Shaq is always saying that she's getting texts and emails, and we have people all over the country that are supportive of us. It's so different and powerful to see them actually come and not just see our games, but to come and sit at a practice, and just the connection that they still have with the coaching staff, and the connection and ties that they have to the university are so strong, and they're so passionate about the program and its success, and even us, even though they've never met us and don't know us. And I think that speaks to people's love for Princeton, and especially the Princeton soccer family. So I think it's really cool to see.
Our pregame practice is definitely always light. We really want the girls to just get into a flow and enjoy themselves, knowing that all their preparation that they did for the week is done, and really it's about shaking the legs out and competing a little bit, but ultimately just really keeping it light, focused, and energized. PGG stands for pre-game game, and we've had a long-standing tradition of pre-game games. The one we're using now is basically a transition shooting game that's we've used probably for the last 10 years.
It's a big deal to our program. The teams are drafted by the keepers before the season starts. It's happening before every game.
You know, PGG is no game. I'd say PGG should really be PGB, P-game battle, because there's really no mercy involved. You'd think that as a game before a game, you'd kind of be like, oh no, I don't want to go so hard. I don't want to hurt my teammates. Nope.
We always arrive about an hour before game. We meet in the team room and talk a little bit about what we want to accomplish, what our objectives are for the game. They're brief, but enough to get them focused.
Okay, let's talk about the game. We talked about a couple of things. One, defensively, just making sure that we are focused on their throw-ins and their corners. Okay, that we have getting the weak side organized, and that our central mids are doing a good job of balancing the field. I want us to break them down on the dribble smartly, okay, but I want them turned facing the wrong way, and I want you guys to put them under early, okay? There should not be any nerves today. Today should be about, again, playing from your heart, playing with passion, playing with energy, playing for each other. As and I talked earlier, you're gonna have so many people here that came before you, that sat in your shoes, that are rooting for you, cheering for you, and so proud to be a part of this whole thing and your family here. And so, I can't think of a better game to show them what this team is about. And as for me, I'm super bad at saying goodbyes, and we still have time, but I do want to say that I hope that you guys will have the same fortune that I've had of coming to work every day for 20 years and having this be your office and that be your office and doing the thing that you love most. And that's the great game of soccer with just amazing, amazing players and young women. So enjoy it. Go play with your heart and passion. Let's send our 9 seniors off who have toiled here for 4 years. Some of them not getting playing time, some of them coming to work every day and giving the same kind of effort. Like, those are the things that you guys should aspire to, okay? All right, let's do it.
My theory of it not happening is no show off.
Girls come out about 45 minutes beforehand, and they have a set warm-up routine, which involves a dynamic kind of warm-up and stretching, some technical work, and then some possession and finishing.
I just think that, we've come into this and we just feel so lucky and so amazingly grateful to have people that have been such good role models for us and that also have welcomed us with open arms and really made us feel like we belong.
We also introduce all of our seniors in their last home game along with their parents, say a little bit about the class, and it's always kind of an emotional game.
Every year as a freshman, as a sophomore, as a junior, the seniors always tell you, time flies before no time. Like, this will be you being out here and, embrace every moment and every game.
Having everyone be so kind and so nice to us has really just let us develop as people on and off the field and given us the freedom to be who we are and not be scared of, being freshmen. But we look to the seniors as the people who like cultivated that environment, and like we are just extremely grateful to them. And so, you know, having a weekend that was for them just gave us a chance to like kind of feel like we could give back a little bit of what they've given to us all season.
Princeton on 3. 1, 2, 3. Princeton! Let's go, White!
I think we had a really poor first half. I think the girls were emotionally tight, and you know, one of our players went down and she looked right at me and said, "Shax, this is your last game and I'm playing so badly." And I felt bad that they were even thinking on those terms, but I think there was definitely a little bit of that going on.
I think it's always difficult when you come into a game and realize that the team you're playing against is sitting back in their half, and we didn't really know how to solve that first half. Emotions were running extremely high, and I know as freshmen, like, we were so emotional. We wanted to do everything for our seniors emotionally off the field, and I think that first half we lost sight of the fact that the best way to like help our seniors, to honor our seniors, is to, you know, focus and win their last game.
I think that emotion is what affected so significantly the first half, because that was one of our worst halves we've ever had. I think people weren't in the right mindset. Like, we were, you know, sad about everything that was happening as opposed to being excited that we still had one game left to share with everybody. And that it was still an Ivy League game and we still had contention for a title. So I think that a reality check hit at halftime. We were like, this is ridiculous.
The way to solve that is not to slow the ball down just because you can, it's to speed it up, to knock it around, and to draw them out so that space is open up.
First, we have to start competing, okay? 50-50 balls, all right? Secondly, they're sitting in, right? Making it pretty difficult. So a couple things have to happen. You have to move the ball quicker, all right? I don't want our back set to play, all right? So we have to have our central mids showing for the ball early. Get it to them early. Find the weak side early, okay? Look, it's a bad half. It happened, all right? You've got plenty of time, all right? Don't lose patience, okay? But we gotta run this guy. We gotta go for it. This is it, 45 minutes. This could be your last 45 minutes, right? Where do you want to be at the end of it? That's what you got to think, all right? Demand more of yourself. Meet the demands of the game, right? What is the game telling you right now? They're sitting in, so we got to move the ball. Balls in front of the back line are not going to work, right? So they either got to go behind, they have to go wide, or people have to get into seam so we can find you earlier. Come on, you've done this before, all right? Don't act like you haven't been here, all right? Let's get this thing going. Central players, seek it out. We have a few more minutes left, okay? Let's go. Come on, you gotta put the spark in your eye, all right? Your mantra. Think about your mantra. It's not good enough to play the ball together. It's not good enough to not to chase, right? All right, let's go.
Do it.
Go.
it was definitely challenging, and we just didn't have the focus to solve that problem. And I think at halftime we realized that, you know, like, this team is sitting back, they're giving us respect, they're giving us space, and we really need to capitalize on that by focusing and by, you know, picking up our speed of play. And I think we did that. You know, if we hadn't played the first half that we had, it would have been a completely different game. But, you know, I was just really proud of what everybody did second half. It just putting the pedal to the metal and really going at them.
When you're playing any kind of game in a half court or a half field or a half of arena, there's not a lot of space and there's a lot of defenders in one area, and you know, while we peppered them and created a lot of opportunities, I would say that their defense hung tough and their goalkeeper had the game of a lifetime. And she really made some spectacular saves that really, on any other given day, would have been goals. And so I think it was just one of those games. We all know that you're the most vulnerable right after you score a goal too. And you know, with 9 freshmen and sophomores on the field, we were a little inexperienced throughout the season. So while disappointing, you know, like I said, I think it was a great second half, and you know, I think we did, you know, all we could do to try to equalize. And it's, you know, it's obviously a shame that we weren't able to pull it out.
I don't know really what to say. Phenomenal second half. I mean, we did enough to win the game, but again, I think just a lot of little bad moments, right? On the other hand, it's hard to sit in somebody's end for 45 minutes like that and not get a better result out of the game, right? And I'm humbled by all of you. Thank all of you for everything that you've done for us and for the program. And I hope you'll, you know, let it dampen things for your group, because you still have a lot to be proud of. Okay?
Hard on 3! 1, 2, 3! Hard!
When I think back on this year, I think less about the soccer than I do about the team and the way the team camaraderie was. I think maybe I'm biased because I'm a senior, but the team chemistry and the team bond had never been as strong in any of my previous years than it did this year. Everybody really got along. We had no problems. We had no drama. You know, everybody was happy to be there. We were all friends. And I think that that is a legacy that the senior class is happy to leave behind, and hopefully will continue for years to come. So I think that, you know, we didn't have the season we wanted, and it didn't end the way we would want to go out as seniors, but if that's a legacy we can leave behind, then we feel good about that.
Looking back on it, there are definitely regrets. Like, we had an amazing team this year. We had a senior class that was, like, took the reins and led us the entire season, and I think that we realized that that was kind of an opportunity we let slip away from us, but we're definitely looking forward to the future. We have, you know, a lot of underclassmen that played, so, you know, we know that we have a lot to work with coming forward, and as a freshman, it's kind of hard to understand what an Ivy game means until you play in them. I didn't understand what it meant to play Harvard, what it meant to play Columbia, what it means to play at home, and I think now that we've all kind of gotten a grip on that experience and the emotions that surround those experiences, like, we'll be able to, you know, kind of work with them next year and hopefully build on what we started this year.
The happy hour and reception were pretty much beyond words. Like, you know, I think, like, you hope you've made an impact on the kids that you've coached over the years, but to have it all there right in front of you for 3 hours, through slideshows, through speeches, through just people being there was something that I could never, ever imagine. Obviously, that's your last game at Princeton, and it's the one that you're going to remember on some level, but it definitely doesn't define what Princeton soccer is about or what my tenure's been. And I think that, you know, I'm so thankful for everything that we've accomplished over the years. At the same time, I think even though there's a big senior class leaving, that there's a great nucleus of talent, and I wish them nothing but the best, and Princeton has been an amazing place for me.